talking about here is disturbing the status quo. How to disturb the status quo? I mean, it's what you just saw here. Set up. And this is what I'll see missing in 80,000 sales presentations. Set up. And then we raise the stakes. In this case, a giant box raises the stakes. And then we deliver the payoff. We don't tell people what's in the box within 10 seconds of starting to talk to them. That's called the path to payoff. Let's talk about another way to think about it. Set up. Oh, that's the same slide. Set up, intrigue, and then the reveal. And I think if we sat down with you and we had some time together, we'd say, you guys are good at the reveal: features, benefits, value proposition. No one else has it. Uniqueness, differentiation. We're a good person. We're an expert. Logos, the credibility, and attractive pricing. Lower the pricing.
And everyone's like, oh, that's never going to work. Seriously. They said it's never going to work. And actually at the time it was like, you believed them. They were like, what CIO is going to put their data in the cloud? You're telling me that, Boston Children's Hospital is going to put their data in the cloud? You're telling me that Bank of America is going to put their data in the cloud? And it's like believable. And then slowly people started to happen. And then all of a sudden these cloud first organizations started winning. And by 2010, they were dramatically taking market share. The on-premise people all of a sudden started hiring McKinsey and BCG and trying to figure out how to move to a cloud offering. It was really hard. And now look at the top most valuable, fastest growing software companies in the world. It's dominated by the cloud, by SaaS. And I think that's going to happen in product-led growth.
My philosophy is sort of listen, we'll be here when you need me. You'll come around. Your problem is still going to fucking be here 6 months from now. It'll probably be bigger. You'll try to solve it yourself. I'm sure you'll fail. You'll try some other competitor of ours that I don't believe is any good, right? I hear stories all the time where somebody's like, oh, I'm going to go this other direction. And then they come back to me 6 months later and you buy from me anyways. That's my belief system as a seller. Whether it's delusional or not doesn't matter, because the delusion serves me to keep myself confident. And my confidence as I proceed through all of my accounts and all of my cadences and so forth, it's my belief that nothing is more important than that. And that will help me win in the end. Well, every single person that came through the organization as a hire on the customer side went through our sales training, marketing, customer service, sales ops, everybody. So they understood the messaging that we were delivering, the kind of tone and tenor of our approach and the philosophy behind certain things. I'm a big fan of that. And I never roll out, sales tactics without checking with my VP of marketing, without checking with my VP of CS.
CRM is dead is something that I have a contrarian opinion on. And I actually don't think CRM is dead. I think it has a really important role, but that it's in the process of moving from front of the office to back of the office. And, part of that reason is because it was never designed for sellers. It was designed to accelerate invoicing. I just started to think about this revenue innovators concept, which is broadly at the highest level, a leader who puts buyers at the center of all of their strategies, who over indexes on data rather than intuition to make business decisions, and who values sales and marketing technology and arms their organization with the most innovative technologies that will help them to continue that circle, engage in buyer-centric, manners. And so that's the highest level.
Contrarian viewpoints points on demos. So here's one that most people don't do that I wish did, is give control of the screen over to the prospect. Right? So if you think about it, most demos are very one way. I'm sitting here and I am receiving, right? I'm being spoken to. And especially in the virtual world, y'all have no idea what I'm doing. Like even right now, I'm talking. I may not even have the camera up. I could have Facebook going right now. I might be watching a movie. Like you don't know. Whereas if you force me to engage, right, that keeps me in it, but it also makes it feel like it's mine. So one of the things that I teach a lot is this idea of like make them hold it, right? So if you think like, and this is well known across sales and persuasion, if you can get someone to hold something, they're less likely to ever give it back, right? So think about the vendors at the mall. Think of it, you go to a bazaar, right? You go to a farmer's market. If I can get you to hold those flowers, you're buying them, right? Now that's different with software. How do you make them hold it? Get me to use it in front of you, right? Or ask me questions that get me to picture using the product.
What I love about 6th Sense is it's about taking the guesswork out of sales and marketing. And, you know, there's always this age-old sales and marketing are misaligned. And I don't really think that, honestly. I think that as a leader at a bunch of different companies, we all want the same thing. Where the breakdown happens is not knowing the right route, or not knowing exactly what's happening in the business, or not having good visibility. And so the friction occurs over what we should do and how we should do it. And there ends up being a lot of guesswork. And so, you know, but we're living in a new era where AI can help us pick up on signals. You know, AI can tell us who's ready to buy and who's not ready to buy. AI can look at patterns and say, these are ideal accounts for you. AI can help you with TAM analysis. Like that's a big friction point. What do we open an office in Australia, or do we expand into Europe, or do we hire a manufacturing AE, right? And ultimately, as a marketing and sales team, we want to make sure that we can feed all the mouths, right, and grow. And so you've got a growth number you got to go hit. And then you got to think about, you know, how are we going to get there, and what's the most appropriate route to get there?
Every time I talk to, you know, an early stage company, I'm like, tell your story. Tell your story. Everybody loves a good story. It's a way to build connection. It's a way to demonstrate some level of credibility. It's a way to create empathy. Like, nail that freaking story, because that's how it all starts. So, like, in order to raise money, yes, we have a process, right, that we go through. It's got to, you know, the business has to, you know, hit certain milestones. We've got to really, you know, like and trust and believe in the people. You know, the market and size, the market needs to be there. You got to demonstrate enough traction. You got to have some defensibility. You've got to have, you know, real customer love. All of those things have to be there. But we won't even get to the point of digging in to determine if all of those things are there if you don't hook us some way, shape, or form. And
Totally.
One of the best ways to do that is through story, is really crafting the right narrative.
RevOps is going to be the #2 role to the CEO in the years to come. And the reason I say that is because until this point, the RevOps is still a much newer concept. In our own company at Terminus, I'll give you an example. Natalie Lee, who runs RevOps, I've seen this firsthand in a year and a half as we are, you know, went from $1 million to 5 to 15 to 50 as a company. I've seen the evolution of analytics. And what's interesting is, until this point, marketing, sales, CS had this conversation that happened in every company. Who moved my cheese? Who got my number? Where did that go? I updated in that spreadsheet, but I don't see it. Well, where's the weighted pipeline of this XY? I mean, it is a mind-numbing exercise and conversation, because everything always has been in